I thank you guys for that. I just appreciate that so much. But anyway, let me go ahead and introduce our other candidates that are here. And again, we're so blessed that we've got people that's willing to stand up and work and step out in the public arena like this. It's not easy, you know. And you're going to take questions. You're going to meet people that you've never met before, and it's a lot to work to doing this here. So my hat's off to all these folks willing to run for office. We're just grateful to them. I'd like to introduce right now Dan Stockton, who is a candidate for the 8th Congressional District here. I'd like to bring Dan up if I can. I'm glad he's here tonight. Dan,
thank you very much, Jim. I really appreciate the invitation, and I really appreciate this fine crowd of people that's here today. I would say, and I think I'm right on this, this is the largest crowd that I've spoken in front of yet. I'm very proud to see that. The other thing that I'm very proud of, I recognize a lot of you people in here from other places that I've spoken at. I'm very happy to see that. So those of you who have seen me speak before, don't give it all away. What I'd like to discuss with you is what everybody has alluded to. We all are here, you all are here to protect your Second Amendment rights, for one thing. But more importantly and deeper is your right as an American to do what you want, when you want, where you want to do it. We're losing our freedoms, not just in our ability to carry firearms, but our ability to smoke outdoors. For those of you who smoke. I wouldn't know about that, I just smoke cigars. But we're losing freedoms little by little. In the state of Washington, they've lost their freedom to wash their car in their own driveway for fear that the soap is going to hurt the environment in the gutters. I mean, this is what's happening nationwide. And we as a group of Americans, not gun owners, not car washers, but as Americans, we need to concern ourselves with the loss of more than just one freedom. I mean, you think about it, and your freedoms get lost a little at a time. They don't get lost all in one fell swoop. That'd be easy for us to vote against, wouldn't it? You vote against the person who is trying to take everything away from you. That's easy. That's easy to stand up against. It's a lot harder to stand up against somebody who you don't really realize what they're doing. And like Jim said, it's happening in the Capitol every day. Every day, a little bit here and a little bit there. And before long, you died a death of 1,000 cuts. That's the problem we're facing in Washington. Fortunately, a lot of the people in the United States are seeing right now that that's exactly what's happening, and we need to change the environment. We need to take these people who are in Washington and have made a career out of taking graft money, and that's what it is. I'm going to call it what it is. It's money to get what the pharmaceuticals want, the insurance companies want. It's money going into their campaign fund to get what they want out of Washington. And we need to send those people out of that career and back home. That's why I've decided to run in the 8th District in the U.S. Congress. I have not, for those of you who've read my brochures, I've seen a lot of people who've been reading those. I've never been involved in politics before. And to answer the question, I've answered a lot of questions. This one's going to come up. No, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
And the second question that usually follows is, have you ever been involved in politics before? And the answer to that is also no, I have not been involved in politics before. I saw a gentleman over here with a jacket. I'm going to pick on him, so I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to point him out. But I saw a gentleman with a jacket that says Goldwing on the back. I also ride a motorcycle. I ride an Indian motorcycle, but I ride a motorcycle.
I won't hold that against you.
Thank you very much. The thing that I have been involved in the last 11 years, and the reason I mention that is because it's pertinent to the fact that I have some experience in managing a group of people, like-minded organizations, who are trying to fight for the rights of the individual. And I belong to an organization, Abate of Indiana. I don't know if any of you are members of Abate of Indiana. If you are a member of Abate of Indiana, you probably see an article in the Hoosier Motorcyclist every month. How many of you get the Hoosier Motorcyclist? There's one person back. If you look through the Hoosier Motorcyclist, every month except the month of January, I apologize, but the holidays were good to me. Every month is an article called The MacGyver Factor. It's a little comedy thing that talks about safety of riding, but well, I'm MacGyver. That's my nickname. So just a little tidbit of information. Motorcycling is pertinent to the freedoms because I've been fighting for 11 years to maintain my freedom of choice of whether or not I wear a helmet in the state of Indiana. And leading the fight in other states is Indiana's Abate organization. And I'm proud to be a part of that. Having that experience has led me to believe that I can be a lot more effective with maintaining my freedoms, not just in motorcycling, but in other aspects of American freedoms. And I can do it best by going to Washington and fighting for what's right and giving you answers that are succinct and clear, rather than 2 days before the vote on cap and trade saying, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. Did you read that article? Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It's 2 days before the vote. 95% of Indiana gets its energy from coal. 95% of energy in Indiana is derived from coal. And Mr. Ellsworth has no idea whether or not that's going to be good or bad for the state of Indiana, and more importantly for the 8th District that mines coal. Duh is right. It's a no-brainer. You vote no. And why he voted to bring it to the floor in the first place is beyond me. There you go. I'm tired of at least that one moron in Washington, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the nation in Massachusetts and New York and New Jersey have already, Virginia and New Jersey have already set examples to say, no, we're not going to take it anymore, just like his song. That's exactly what's happening. I'm mostly concerned about the economy. I want to put people back to work, and it's not going to be a large high-speed train going from coast to coast to make freight easier. That's not going to put Americans back to work. What's going to put Americans back to work is tax incentives. You give people more of their money to spend, and they will take care of it in the best way possible, putting it back into the economy. That's what's going to change the economic condition in America. You also want to change the economy? You drill for oil. You build refineries. And once you've done that, you put people back to work. When you put people back to work in the refineries, somebody's got to drive the truck to get it from the oil field to the refinery. Somebody's got to work in shipping and receiving. Somebody's got to work in warehousing. And once that oil gets there and we have lower prices on our fuel, somebody's going to use that money to spend at Walmart. Go on vacation, tourism trade. That's going to put people back to work. And when those people are back to work, they're going to expand their businesses. And if they can do it and get a tax incentive when they expand, they're even more likely to put money back into their business instead of hanging on to it and trying to get richer. You have a question already?
Yes, I do have a question already. Have you looked into the fair tax?
Yes, I have, and I do support the fair tax.
Yeah.
Now, I know that a lot of you are going to be disappointed, but that will repeal the 16th Amendment. For those of you who are up on the Constitution, that's a pretty big piece of paper that started the largest bureaucracy in the United States of America, and that's the IRS, and they will also have to find places to work. Maybe a refinery would be a good place for them.